You guys, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening, man? We're back here. Complicated Chelsea show, man. It's going to be a very basic one. Over the next hour or less, we're going to talk about our CL. We're going to talk about Atletico, reflect on it, review upon it, and then we're then going to talk about the United game. But this is definitely going to be mainly focused on just that Champions League game, reviewing it, talking about it from Chelsea's point of view, and then we'll briefly talk about the United game coming.
Let's talk about. We also need to talk about Tammy / Haaland / Giroud.
My friend, look, all right, look, when a tight time thing, man. So we'll be able to combine. We'll combine it all in. We'll combine it all in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So just to say, guys, remember, guys. Shout out to our sponsors, Manscaped. Head out in the description box below. Use the code CCS. Use the code CCS to get that Manscaped quality products, man. Look sexy, shave your balls, make your balls look good, look groomed, look quality, and make yourself look as pristine as possible, man. So please check out that in the description box below. Check out your Manscaped products, Shave your balls here with it. Look, see, it even comes to the lights, man, so you don't shave your balls off, man. So we know how bad your lighting is in the toilets. Use that. Get away from the jungle, because look, stuff's going to be opening up very, very soon in the UK. June 21st, we open up. So when you see that lady friend, or if you're trying to, court a nice lady and so forth, you must look as pristine as my bald head over here, man. So your balls should look as pristine as this bald.
That's not working. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, my friend. Thank you. So remember, CCS,
you gotta be lying.
The code is CCS, 20% off. Click the link below and get that lovely bargain from our dear friends Manscaped. Also, as well, guys, remember, guys, we have a Patreon, guys. Join us and support us on our Patreon. The link is below in the description box, man. You get to get all the episodes in podcast form that you can download to your phone and computer. You can get to interact with us and send us questions as a Patreon. And if you're on a higher tier, you get access to exclusive videos. We have a video out that we did that was focusing on the 2012 CL. The 2012 CL and how that was a success. The successful story of the 2012 CL that me and the three boys did on that Patreon. So click the link below, look at the footage, and it will mean a lot to us if you could give us your beautiful patronage support. So, with that being said, man.
Remember to hit the likes as well, guys.
Hit the likes, man. Hit the likes, guys. Thank you.
Doesn't cost you a thing, man.
Doesn't cost you a thing. Well, except your soul. So it's the CL. I think let's first put this into context. I think this is going from a tweet that I saw from your boy Daniel, not Danny. Daniel, that's be called Daniel Tilloch. That he put. He said that this was an away victory, but it wasn't an away victory. So the way people framed it as, oh my gosh, look at that result away from home. No, and I think this may be to do with, and this will now be in conjunction with the kind of opposition we faced and the way that they played. Because yes, Chelsea were away from home, so were Atletico, because the game was a neutral venue. So you can't say that Chelsea won away from home in the classical sense, because that whole thing of putting focus on away from home is you beat a team who are playing at their home ground, so but they weren't. I think we'll leave the Giroud goal till separate and so forth. Let's just really try to talk about the game overall. Probably the worst game out of all games in the round of 16. It wasn't the most joyful, pleasurable to watch. But as the game, basically, because I didn't know what Simeone was going to do. But as the game wore on, I was like, Chelsea have a great opportunity here. They have a great opportunity here to get a win, because they're playing a team that's not really interested in winning the game. But as you got into the second half and so forth, I didn't know where the goal was going to come from. Again, I always say that Mount has a very important position in this team. He's the number 10. He's the creator. And against a team that's going to give you the ball, it's very important that you're trying to find that key pass. I think with Mount is he does some really good things and he does some really frustrating things. Like there was one run he had where he beat like 2-3 players, played a great pass to Timo Werner. was like, oh wow, that's probably the best thing that he did. But the times when his final ball is just missing, and against a team that says, bro, take the ball. We're not interested in winning, because Atletico were looking to get 0-0. They're not interested in winning. Simeone's tactic was 0-0. Then we now have the power of the away goal when we now play you guys away from home. That was his tactic because of the injuries, and they were not playing at Wanda. So as I was going forth, I was like, I don't see where the goal is going to come from. So it makes sense that the goal was scored like that, because the frustration still lie within his team that there is no creativity. There is nobody with that key pass. Although when you now saw towards the end of the game, you just saw a glimmer of what a Ziyech could do. Because for that few minutes that Ziyech was there, you could just see how well he was utilizing the ball, using the ball, and distributing the ball. So I think, look, overall, man, it's a huge win, a massive win, and it sets up the second leg supremely well. I mean, we'll get to Giroud afterwards, because let's just talk about what Giroud is. But if I'm just judging the performance, hard to critique the performance because of the opposition, because Atletico were so much more defensive than I expected them to be. I knew they were going to be defensive, but not that defensive. So again, yes, I can congratulate Christensen and Rudiger, but what did you have to do when you were defending against one man and so forth? But all the Hamas says, it's a win, it's a huge win, it's a massive win, and now it's put Chelsea in a great, amazing position to go through. Second leg is going to pop off because Atletico now have to change their attack, but at least it's a 1-0 win. It at least gives this team a huge confidence that, whoa, we can perhaps make this step up and compete with one of Europe's best. Daniel, talk to me.
I thought you were gonna go to Abdullahi first, but how would we describe this game?
Nice curtains.
Thank you. Atletico came to the game with a back five as well. So Simeone obviously did his homework. And one of the trends that we see in football is when you know you're going to play against a team that has a back three, back five, however you want to class it, you match the systems. That way the wing backs aren't overly effective and you can kind of nullify them. So Simeone already showing up with like five at the back. You could kind of figure where this was going to go, given, you know, you have Mount, you have Werner, you have Giroud. Those aren't players who are going to create goals for themselves. And then the midfield of Jorginho, Kovacic, not the most creative or at least incisive midfield. So if Simeone is already starting with a back five, we know where this is going. It's just going to be a boring 0-0 game. And if some piece of magic shows up from whether a Suarez or Giroud, if Werner gets loose and somehow finds a way to smuggle in a goal, like that's going to be what it was. So after the first 20 minutes and the systems are kind of nullifying each other, Atletico are happy to sit back. At times they had like a back seven, back eight. They were just happy to let Chelsea have the ball because they understood who's going to break us down. Jorginho, Kovacic, Mason Mount, Timo Werner, Giroud? Not really. Like, you guys aren't nice like that. And that's kind of what they were banking on. Obviously, we'll get to the Giroud goal later, but even that one was kind of fortuitous in the way that it took like 5 minutes or so to figure out if it was a goal or not. But, you know, you can't take anything away from Giroud. There's a crazy finish, like instinctual bicycle kick, whatever. But yeah, once I saw the team sheets, I kind of understood, okay, this Simeone isn't coming here to have fun in the way that we thought he might, given how they play in La Liga.
Quick thing, were you surprised by how defensive he was, though?
Not once I saw the lineup, and you go to back five to match the system. I was like, okay, Chelsea's probably going to have half the ball, maybe 60%. Somewhere in there. I don't know what the final stats were, but that's what I thought. So, yeah, it was. Once we saw the teams, that like the hour before, I was like, okay, cool. Like this is gonna be one of those Simeone games, and that's what he was. I think he understands. Look, this is not a 90-minute game; it's a 180-minute game. So let's see if we can't just nullify this leg because we have injuries. There's COVID protocol that people are dealing with. We're playing a home game in Romania. Doesn't quite make sense. Chelsea have an advantage because it's a neutral ground. But if they score a goal, then it kind of counts for 1.1, 1.2, whatever that math is. So, yeah, I think he was smart in what he was attempting to do. But, again, when you have Chelsea aren't scrubs, and their manager isn't a scrub either. I think he probably won the tactical battle in many ways. So yeah, Chelsea were lucky, but they made their own luck. So that's kind of how I see it.
Abdullahi, CFC.
It was. I wouldn't say it was like It was one of the most boring game I've ever seen in Champions League history for me. It's just too boring. Like Diego Simeone did not even play to. He's not even come to play football. He came to park the bus, park train, park everything. Just keep parking because all what he needs is 0-0 at his home. Then at the bridge, he's gonna go on a counter, in which I understand. But the match did not live to the expectation in which everybody was expecting to live up to the expectation of. It was just way too boring and we're like way too much.
Wait,
And I think
you expected an exciting game?
yeah, because people were kind of saying Atletico play more attacking football and they don't go defensive. So I was like, okay, now that they play attacking football, let's see the attacking football they play. Because people like they play at the back, they play this at the back. So let's see how they attack. So when I'm seeing 7 at the back, instead of I'm like seeing 7-6-1. I was like 7-6-1. Oh, wait, what's going on? It was like immediately back was 7 at the back, 6 at the middle.
Hold up.
14.
Yeah. Look. I just did the math. 7-6-1.
That's where Atletico lineup. It's 11 man in the team, but the way the lineup was way bad. It's like acting all this.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 14.
Plus 14. The goalkeeper, that's 15.
That's 15, yeah, exactly. So I'm like,
No,
because if you look at the way the lineup,
the math doesn't add up. It's 7-6-1. The math doesn't add up.
That's like 15. Yeah, I know. So I'm just saying the way Atletico. I'm kind of referring to the way Atletico lineup. That's what I'm saying. It was just bad, way too bad. I don't know. I need to ask some Atletico fans: is that the way they play in La Liga? If they are if they are the top of the Premier League and the La Liga table, is a big problem because you can't be packing that kind of bus. And
No. It was the injuries. Like, they didn't have Trippier, who is their first choice right back. They didn't have they didn't have Carrasco, who normally plays the right wing back. So when they have those guys, those are the guys that got them on their run. But those missing, he has to change up the formation. So it's the injuries.
Exactly. But was like, but I think I'm hearing they're gonna have Trippier, Carrasco, Jimenez back in the second leg, which is a big plus for them. I want to see how we're gonna kind of tackle the second leg, but for now, I think it was a decent game. It wasn't that much of a Champions League game where everybody expected. It was a decent game and it was kind of okay. And I need to address something, HH. I need to say something. Luis Suarez, like, he's one of the most annoying and frustrating players I've ever seen in my life. That guy should not play football again. He should go and be fighting wrestling. That is what she needs to be doing. He should go and join up in WWE. That's what he needs to be doing now.
Why not based on the game? Based on the game, how? Why did you come to that assessment?
The way no, his antics in football is just rubbish. That's rubbish. People just slight touch. Suarez will roll on the floor like someone that has already been pushed or just been beaten like a small baby. He need to go and be joining WWE. That's what he need now. So that's where his level at the moment, because I can't believe it's the top scorer in La Liga, because just little touch is rolling on the floor like someone that has been beaten like for like so many years. It doesn't make any sense. Football doesn't work that way anymore. It doesn't. So many antics in football.
I kind of give him a pass, man. I mean, the way Atletico were playing, I think he understood I got to try everything to get us an advantage. So if that means, getting on Rudiger's nerves a little bit and maybe getting him on a yellow card, or if that means, just trying to just do things to inspire the team, I can kind of give you a pass. I mean, as long as he's not being racist or biting people, which I guess he has a tendency to do, everything's fair. So he's not supposed to be not annoying to Chelsea fans or to the opponent. He's supposed to be a pest. That's probably when he's at his best. So I can give him a pass on that side. And it was fun to see Rudiger kind of challenge him and grab him by the neck and do whatever he was doing. But yeah,
but like you see, Colchonaris, he's an Atletico fan, and like I said, we've not played ultra defense like that all season. So annoying.
Do you know how Mourinho has this saying where it's like we play for the point and. It means we come into the game, we want to draw.
Yeah.
But if
If-
the situation appears to where we can get a win, we'll take it. But we're just here, just don't lose the game. And I think that's what Simeone was on. Just don't lose the game. And it needed a spectacular motion, creative idea from Giroud to even get Chelsea's goal. And I don't think you can legislate for somebody doing something like that. You kind of just got to, chapeau. And that's what it was.
So yeah, let us even talk about our dear friend now, man. Giroud. You see, this thing about Giroud, we can't be reactionary here. He is what he is. Now, that was an amazing goal. Like, when I saw that, I screamed because I did not expect that at all.
Do you know,
100% at all.
I didn't react because I thought it was offside. I thought
No.
Mount
It wasn't
touched the
offside.
ball.
No,
I know it now, but in the action, I thought it was offside. I thought, okay,
No, but when
Mount must have touched it, and he was in an offside position. But then, but then, like the replays happened, and it was the Atletico guy.
But but as soon as the goal went in, you instantly thought offside?
Yeah,
How?
because I'm looking at Giroud.
Giroud was
time.
offside. Giroud
I
was
was looking
offside.
at him like he was in an offside
Oh.
position.
Yeah,
Like
he was
I
offside.
was watching him. So I was like, nah, he's offside. So
His foot was offside. His left foot was offside.
No. He was completely also just as for me when
he
I was
ran
watching
and then
it.
he was coming back.
Yeah.
And I was watching that run, and then when he came back, I was like, the goal's probably offside. Amazing thing, but like when he looked to the side and the referee had his flag up, I was like, yeah, like that's what it was. But then the investigation happened, and I was
Just
like,
for-
wait a minute, Mount didn't touch that.
He did not touch it.
It was the Atletico guy
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
it
yeah.
backwards. So now, oh shit, like they have an away goal.
No, because see, when I watched it, like, maybe just because I was just looking at the moments, I just didn't know he was offside. So I was like, "Ooh," it was like an overhead kick. Because when I just did an overhead kick, because remember, Felix tried one earlier on and it didn't sort of work. Whenever you see an overhead kick, you're like, okay, it's not going to go in. I'm looking, it's Giroud, it ain't going in. Because, it's Oblak in goal as well. So when it went in, I was like, oh, overhead kick, because as soon as it went in, VAR, so I was like, oh. So I didn't actually see initially how he was offside. So when they showed him offside, I was like, oh, hey, here he is. Like, what are we waiting for? Like, he's offside. Like, but as they were spending more and more time, I knew that, they're checking to see if he's touched it. Because I said, like, wait, this is cut and dry. Like, it's not even close. It's clearly offside. So why are you spending like 3 minutes to check if it's offside or not? I said, no.
No, AJ, I think the reason was Giroud left foot was offside. It was in an offside position. It was running back to an onside. So when the ball, when Enoso, the Atletico Madrid ball, tossed the ball, it bounced back to Giroud. Then the Scissors kicked the ball. So that was when the referee was like, no, he was standing in an offside position, running back into the space.
No, I know. No, I'm saying that when you look at it at VAR, it's clearly offside. It's clearly offside. Like when he hits it. So my thing is that why were they spending so much time figuring out something that is clear cut and dry? So in my mind, say it has to be someone touched it, and they're not trying to figure out who touched it. But my thing is that when you're in the VAR room, you can. It's like the Matrix. You can go back, forth, rewind, all that kind of stuff, zoom in. Zoom in. So
why did it
take so long for them to realize that? Hey, did Mount touch it or did Hermoso?
They were probably looking for that. They had one really clear angle of it that they showed later on, like nearing the end.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
probably the view that they were searching for from all. They have like 17, 18, 19 cameras, however many cameras. You probably go through each one and find the best one. So it was like do you remember the World Cup with Korea and Germany?
Yeah.
Where without VAR, there's no way that you would have been able to figure that out. Like this is like a classic case of this is where it's good to have the technology, because the referees would have felt justified that no, Mount touched it. And we at home after they showed the replay would have been like, nah, he didn't touch it. That should be an away goal. What's happening?
Yeah.
But because they have that ability to replay.
No, because it's the same thing with Man City and Tottenham. No way the human eye sees that Aguero touches the ball. Impossible.
Or the was it the Llorente goal?
The offside goal. You're talking about the offside goal that they chop up in the last minute.
Yeah. But do you remember
The Lorente Ambo.
Your answer?
Yeah. Where they thought it hit his thigh, but it hit his
Oh
hand.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's little things like that you can't know unless you take your time. So
No,
I would rather they get it right and take their time than get it wrong and kind of like speed run it.
No, I think this is where you just have to just say that that is where VAR gets it right. Like this is where what
It was Sterling, not Aguero, wasn't it?
My bad, Sterling. Raheem Sterling
no. Sterling scored the goal, but Aguero was the one that hit
was
it.
offside.
Yes.
Was offside. Aguero hit it and everything.
I remember.
So I think the thing about it is that this is where you say so that on one hand, VAR, boom, like this is. You may say, okay, it takes time and so forth, but as long as it's right,
You can't
it's
complain.
right, and it's something that without VAR, there's no way you'd give that because the human eye can't see Hermoso hit the ball. Everybody will be like, oh yeah, man's hit the ball, 100%. Unless
well, not everybody. We would have known because the viewing
replay.
public would have known after the
Yeah.
replays that something fishy happened. It would have been a talking point. Why
And
don't we
you know
have
the funniest part.
technology in the game?
The funny part about the goal is when the goal entered, I ran out of the house outside. Then my brother called me back that go back. There's VR check. I was like, why? What's going? What just happened? I'm like VR.
Pause. Quickly. Have hope. Is that your hat? You have a hat like that you wear all the time that Abdullahi has on?
It's similar. I don't know whether it's exactly the same. Actually, bend your head like this.
It's just a red hat with the blue. I was like,
It's quite. It might be, because it's like a fitted
guys, have hope
baseball.
has like 3 hats that I can tell. There's like a Batman hat, there's that hat, and there's like a Scully that he wears. But
And
like,
obviously,
that's the
my
same shit.
traditional Nigerian hats, and there's like the whole Spanish kind of hat that my mom got me from Spain.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So, okay, look. Let's bring in Eddie. So, Eddie, your thoughts on that Giroud goal, your emotions when that Giroud goal went in, man.
Can you guys hear me first of all?
Yeah.
I just had
Where
to
are
say
you at?
apologies. I'm at work, man.
You in a conference room?
I'm back in the office. Yeah, I'm in the conference room. Yeah, so trying to hide all the merch.
He
for
got
the
the
company,
frosted.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boss is just next door, so it's alright.
Whisper, bro.
but
Whisper.
yeah, just now. Those guys is so good. Just on the game first. Look, I mean, I've been listening to y'all 3 pagans talk this whole time, and you were talking about boring football and that. I don't know what you guys were watching, but I mean, from the start of this, it was clearly going to be a tactical battle, like between 2 managers, and it just depended on who the Chelsea manager was. That's what I said from the first time, the tie came out. Once it came out, I was like, look. Once it came out, I was like, look, Simeone is going to walk over Lampard. Simple. And once Tuchel came, what did I say the first show after Tuchel came? I say I have hope now because I have a manager who can actually match Simeone, who can actually, be on the same level as him. And that's what the game was. It was purely a tactical battle. I don't think Atletico came out to defend, sort of. But Chelsea's play kind of, made them default to that. And I'll explain in the sense that it all boils down to what Tuchel did at Southampton, taking Hudson-Odoi off. And look at what he said at the end of the game. He said, I need my players to counter-press. And that's something Chelsea did. If you watch the first 15 minutes, they did that superbly. It was, we lose the ball, we win it back. Throughout, the first part of that first half, we lose the ball, we win that back. And Simeone just basically, reverted to, okay, look, boys, we got to go for the 0-0 here because if we keep losing the ball and, letting these boys have chances, they'll eventually score. And that's what it became. And that's where I guess, people get the whole boring part from. But then another tactical change Tuchel made was moving Mason Mount over to the left because watching that game, there's another thing with Chelsea at the moment, which started with Lampard this season, where we create from the right and then Lord knows what we'll do on the left. I would like to say we'll finish from the left, but we have Alonso and Werner there at the moment, so Lord help us. But a lot of the creativity comes from the right, and I'm watching Mount and Odoi like, look, you guys are just, they were killing it down the right, let's be honest. They were doing their thing down the right, and, we're just lacking that finishing. If the game ended 0-0, the first person I was going to get at today was Timo Werner, because he's the only reason why Atletico have life in this tie. He's the only reason why Atletico have life. This guy crosses for the sake of crossing. I don't know if he's trying to start pad or something, but this guy was crossing to nobody. He was crossing to the Atletico Madrid defenders.
Remember in the second half when Ziyech played the through ball to him.
Ziyech.
And I said, Ziyech, and then Werner said, Werner, you can't score from there. Just hold it and cut the ball back.
I think he had about 4 chances. There was the cross from Mason Mount, which he should have finished. I don't care what anyone says. That was a cross on the plate for a good striker to finish. There was the through ball Mason Mount, gave to him. And why the flip are you running wide when you get the through ball, when you can cut in and do your thing?
Can I be dirty for a minute? Just quickly, Eddie?
What? Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody mention football IQ when they talk about Werner?
That's a discussion we need to start having. I'm not gonna lie,
have hope. Just let it. Go ahead, Eddie.
But Mason, Timo Werner is the one reason why Atletico still have life in this tie. So, I mean, at the end of the day, look, Chelsea did their thing. The back three, you got to give them their props a little bit, because they didn't concede a goal.
Who do they have to defend against, man? Come on, Eddie, man. These guys didn't come to score. They'll come for 0-0.
If I told you we're going to line up against Atletico at the start of the season with Christensen, Rudiger, and Azpilicueta, what would you say?
No. That's disingenuous. I will say it back to you is that what kind of Atletico are these guys facing? If they're facing an Atletico who are more balanced, pragmatic, but more balanced, these guys are conceding.
That's a cap. That's a cap. You would have been pissed,
bro. Man. Right. We're talking Thiago Silva and Zoom. Think about this. Thiago Silva and Zuma started the first half of the season. And we have our 3 backups playing against Atletico right now. I mean, come on, man.
No, but I think
got to give them their props. No,
I do.
Christensen ball.
He did. No, they played well. They played well.
Alonso, Jesus. Lord knows what I'll do with that guy. But Danny T, you gotta give Jorginho his flowers, man. You gotta. I see your Jorginho agenda. You gotta.
I don't have a Jorginho agenda. I have a Conte agenda.
Relax.
I have a Conte agenda. I don't have a Jorginho agenda.
Hold on.
I have a Conte agenda. Those are two different things.
If you watch the game against Southampton, and I think that was why Jorginho came back on later in the game, we were clearly missing a Jorginho, because anything that happened in that midfield was mostly dead for that game. Kante was that. That's why the last time we spoke about this, I said if you're going to have a conversation about Kante, you need to replace Kovacic with Kante, because they do roughly the same role. Kovacic was put in Jorginho role against Southampton, and it didn't work. Jorginho comes back, and look how well our ball retention is, especially in that midfield, which is something that's crucial to the system. I'm not saying he's the future, or we should make Jorginho the best player in the team. What I'm just saying is, for the way we play at the moment, Jorginho is crucial to that midfield. And I don't know if is he missing for the second leg? Was he the one, or Kovacic? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's missing. He and then Mason Mount is missing for second leg.
Yeah, himself and Mason Mount. So look, hopefully we can sort out the
Chucho
whole
has been
rotation.
suspended into his best lineup. I love this. He's going to be forced to play Conte.
Why do you say my mind? Daniel, why do you say my mind?
But wait, real quick. Do you know? So I can see it now. Second leg, Atletico. Let's say they win it like 2-1. And then do you know what the headlines will be?
No, by the way,
Let's get started.
Guess who will poison my Instagram inbox? Callum.Keith. You black mofo! I told you, Mount was all about that. You black mother. I'm like, yeah, there you go. So I can see it now. By the way, he has sent more messages. By the way, so yeah, Callum.Keith.
Yeah, but Jorginho is. I mean, he's looking alright for the system. I'm not saying again. We still need to work out the creativity thing, which is where the 2-10s come in. Look, it's time to drop Werner. It's really time to drop Werner. And I mean, Chilwell needs to start having a look, man, because Alonso, my God, that guy has reverted back to.
But where is Chilwell? Is he injured?
No, he's there.
He's fit.
He's fit. Chilwell is fit. I don't know. I think Chilwell is playing the back three because back three doesn't fit in Chilwell. Left wing back fitting more Alonso more well than them playing Chilwell, because when it goes forward in the back three, it doesn't know how to come back.
I mean,
That's the
he
problem
had
with
the
Alonso.
one bad game against Wolves, and everybody was like, okay, it's time
Yeah.
for Alonso.
Actually, this is where the
but
problem
Alonso
of
can't play
Alonso-
every week.
Alonso's had
every
like
game,
three
so-
bad games in a row, man.
exactly. I think this is where the problem of this Ben Chilwell came in. Lampard was the one who endorsed Ben Chilwell, not the board. Now the new manager comes in and he said, Chilwell is not in my plan at the moment. They put him on the bench. This is where we need to have the conversation about how really was Ben Chilwell. Is he really of a good left back, or was just like overhyped English player?
Agreed he was average. We already said it was average. I don't know what the question is now.
All right, just quickly, okay. To Eddie's point about Jorginho, okay.
Yeah.
Mount was lucky to be on the pitch, okay.
Yeah.
Mount had a yellow card in the first 2 minutes, and part of that was because Jorginho couldn't get back into position, or he ran into where Kovacic was trying to do the little link play that left a vacancy in midfield. Mount had to track all the way back, and it was him and Azpilicueta against Felix. Mount had to take him out, otherwise that would have been trouble for the team. Yellow card. Then later on, Mount gets booked. And then, do you guys remember when he kicked the ball onto Lamar's head?
Lamar's head, yeah.
I was surprised that wasn't checked or something, because obviously it was an accident, but I've seen people get booked for that. So Mount was lucky, and part of the reason that he was on an edge was because there was nobody there to run in midfield. There was nobody there to help kind of plug the holes that Conte, I know, would. So obviously you're not wrong about Jorginho brings a quality to the game that I can't discount. I understand that one, but I appreciate what Conte brings to the team more. Which we will get to see in 2 weeks. Who knows? I could be wrong, but
Hey, but look, Werner, Bingham. I mean, we're building to
and
the
at
goal
least
now.
I know Conte would dribble.
Look, Mason Mount. Look, I mean, I've just come to accept it now. He's gonna be in
Look
the
at
team.
these people. Felix dive. Felix. No, he didn't.
He's. I mean, Mason Mount played. He played okay.
No, Mount was good. Mount was good.
No, it was good. Sorry, real quick about Mount. Back to Eddie, very quickly. See,
Yeah.
this is my thing about Mount is, it's like it's an issue because he did play well and did some really good things. It's just that you just wish you had a higher quality player, and the issue is that higher quality player doesn't exist.
Hold on. Mount played good. Like I said, if Werner takes those 2 chances, Mount has 2 assists. Like, plain and simple. And what are we talking about today? I mean, we weren't going to be talking about Werner. We'll be talking about Mason Mount.
Guys, I thought our whole problem with Mount was that he was playing on the wing over Hudson-Odoi. If he's playing in midfield, number 10, number 8, I don't have any issues with him being in the team.
No. It's not about issues being in the team. It's about the kind of quality you want there.
But if he plays well, then who cares?
You've got to admit he's improving at the moment. That ball he gave to Werner, I did not expect that.
It was a quality ball.
To run.
And even his dribble, the run that he made and everything like that.
He was
cool.
doing everything, man. Like, he was good.
He balled,
I think the only thing.
Let's let this guy talk, my friend. I will come to you.
Abdullah, you shall not talk about Mason Mount. If you mention Brain, we'll kick you out.
I've muted him.
No. He balled because that run, especially, I was looking at it like, okay, after he dribbled past those guys, I'm like, please just release the ball early, and he done that. So, look, I couldn't fault too much of what he done that day. I know Ford was getting at me on Twitter, but
who do you think the worst player other than Alonso was?
Werner was the worst player.
I just said our whole left side is a shambles. Like,
what did you guys think about Mendy?
Oh, look,
a few dodgy moments, bro. He had a few dodgy moments.
I actually forgot to mention that, and this is gonna be If you look since the whole Kepa thing happened, Mendy has been off. The Southampton game, he wasn't great as well. And it comes to the whole psychology of keepers, or where Mendy gets dropped for no reason, just because the board wants to jack up the price of Kepa. And I won't be surprised if my guy is uncertain about his game time anymore. Like, am I going to be playing when all of a sudden they'll drop me? Because up until recently, Kepa was a cup goalkeeper. Mendy was the PL goalkeeper, but now you're playing Kepa because you want him to build rhythm or whatever when your main goalkeeper is not out of form. So hey, I won't be surprised if that's the issue, but hopefully he gets back to.
I bring up Mendy because the one moment that he had where Azpilicueta passed it back to him in the first portion of the game and he almost gave it away. I think to Suarez or maybe somebody else.
Well.
That was Aspi's.
That was Aspi's fault.
Yeah.
Like there's a thing, even if you're playing in the park, man, calls for yourself.
Yeah.
So
that was
now Mendy could have just kicked it long. He didn't have to take a touch, but. Yeah, I thought that was more on Aspi, and especially like being a veteran, 31, 32 years old, like be better, you know.
Yeah, but even at that, Mendy's distribution during the game was poor. I mean, he was kicking balls out left and right. I was like, "What are you doing, man?"
But look, if our problem with Kepa was he's not a great shot stopper, but
he said our.
What do you mean hour? No, I mean hour, like 1, 2, 3, 4. If okay, fine. If Chelsea's problem, I don't use our.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
I don't use our, we, mine, us. Like I don't use that.
Stop being complicated.
You need to understand English. English. There's a difference between singular and plural. He's using the plural word, not the singular word. Singular and plural.
Why do y'all tell me? Yeah, mute your mic. Anyway, okay. If the issue with Kepa was shot stopping, and Mendy is better at shot stopping, and we could recognize that Kepa has good distribution, he's better on the ball, etc., maybe even better at stopping penalties, etc., then you have to balance which one would you like. And for me, first port of call as a goalkeeper, save shots. Second port of call, save shots. Third protocol, save shots. And then once we get to fourth and fifth, then maybe we can start talking about your distribution.
Stealing
and
my points. Stealing my points.
I'm stealing your framing. I'm not stealing your point. But yeah, so if I have to sacrifice some on the ball quality from my goalkeeper in order to improve the confidence or safety I feel with him receiving shots or stopping shots, I'll do that. So I'm fine with Mendy's technical flaws if he will keep a clean sheet.
So wait,
Kepa, I can't trust you keep a clean sheet. He could have the touch of Maradona. He's not keeping clean sheets.
Yeah.
So
that's the key thing. Be a keeper. Abdullahi, apologize to Mount.
Yeah, this is where the issue is. I've never had an issue with Messi.
I didn't ask for an issue.
No. Let me clarify myself. You want an apology? Let me clarify myself. You see, he has been our best player without a shadow of doubt. He has been. I can't even come and say no. He has been. But my issue with if Messi Mount is Chelsea Football Club best player, there's a problem because being the best player, you have to have like an IQ, and his IQ is very, very poor at the moment. People may come and say he's 22 years of age, yes, but in the final third, Messi Mount is indecisive. He decides maybe to shoot or to pass. That is where the problem in terms of passing and beating players he has improved marvelously. I have no issues with that. But my issue with Messi Mount is final third is where my problem is. It decides, like, his problem is when he has the ball on his feet, he like, oh, do I need to shoot or do I need to pass? That is where Tuchel need to talk to him. When you are in the final third, decide what you have to do. Either you shoot or you pass. Make that decision yourself. It doesn't need to be taught what to do.
Based on what games recently are you saying this? Because it's surely not the Atletico game.
No, I'm not talking about that. It's not that he's been doing that recently. He's been doing that, not even Atletico game. There's some chances Messi Mount will see one-on-one. You see him shooting.
Hold on. Give the man his props, man. Give the man his props.
I'm not hating on Mount. I already said it.
Hold on. Give the man his props, man. I mean, I've been on Mount. I've been on his case all season. I ain't gonna lie. And I called him out before the game. I said you gotta show up. And he did.
Yeah, and he did. Yes, he did.
We've got to call improvements where we see it. And I even said once Lampard got sacked, that Mount was going to improve. And what I saw in that Atletico game is a mature performance from Mason Mount. Forget the fact that I was 22 years old. Like I said, if Werner finishes his chances, this game is 3-0 Chelsea. And we're out here celebrating a massive win based on what Mason Mount did. So don't come here and give me stuff about he doesn't have IQ or this.
No. I have no issues with Mason Mount. No, I have no issues with him being the best player. But my problem is it's an IQ in which you were kind of putting out. You can't be in the final third and be indecisive in football. You can't do that. Either you shoot the ball or you pass. That is what he needs to improve as a player. We can say it's because it's that kind of age. People may start to compare with Phil Foden and this kind of stuff. Phil Foden cannot be in that kind of area and not know what to do. It's 20 years of age. There's a difference in that age. You have to be very like put it together. You have to be decisive. What you're saying, it can't be in that kind of situation and be indecisive. That is what he needs to improve on. His first half was even poor than the second half.
At the end of the day, though,
give us an example.
I think the way you improve the team, though, isn't by taking Mount out as it's currently constructed. The easiest way to improve it is either removing Werner or removing Werner and probably Alonso. So Mount is in the best 11 of the Chelsea squad that's currently constructed, and that's just what it is. Like, and I've told you guys, you might not like it, but he's getting 500, 600, 700 Chelsea appearances. He's gonna be Chelsea captain in the next 2-3 years.
Okay. Daniel,
He's here.
Daniel, that like if he gets 1,000, I couldn't give a crap. Like all I want is just win trophies. Like captain, leader, I couldn't give a crap. That's on you. But my thing about this is that. Look, Mount deserves his place here because he's been one of the best performers. But all I can do is just be honest. All I can do is be honest is that what I see is a talented player, a really good player that has really good moments. But if we're not going to say like, for instance, I was looking at Arsenal today, Saka. I don't even need to do any mental gymnastics. Like, now that's just a quality player who, in the final third, he knows what to do.
But who is Saka crossing the ball to or passing the ball to?
Eddie. Eddie, no. Eddie, remove his assist. I don't care about his assist. I'm just talking about play. Remove goals assist. Let's just say goals assist don't count. I'm not even talking about goals and assists. What you're doing in the front third, how you're looking in the front third, and just the way you are approaching psychologically on a football level in that front third. When I just see, look, it's just a thing that it's an instant thing of like, he gets it.
Thank you for bringing up Saka.
So
thank you. Because when people say I hate Mount, I don't hate Mount. This is where the problem is. When you watch Saka play, his decision making is 100% there. He has the intelligence. That is what we're saying about the player who knows what he's doing. Mason Mount's problem is not about him passing the ball, beating players. His problem is IQ in the final third. Do I shoot or do I pass? That is where Mason Mount's problem is. He's been compared to Phil Foden of Manchester City. Phil Foden will not be in that situation and be indecisive.
Hey, Phil Foden's been on the Pep for 3 years and Mount is on the Lampard. Like, come on, man.
Eddie, we need to be factual. This is the truth. This is the truth.
Wait. But like, he has a point though. Like, okay, look, let us be fair here. Because I already have seen an improvement in Mount under Tuchel as opposed to Lampard.
Yes.
So my thing is that, look, Pep, as much as I say about Pep, he is one of the best coaches in the world in terms of improving players. So it could be a failure. Let's see Mount. Look, Frank Homeboy ain't improving nothing, brother. The guy's from the road. Homeboy. No, that's the name, Frank Homeboy.
It's true.
But Tuchel, who knows? Maybe under him, Mount can actually be allowed to actually play and express himself and show things that he never have shown from Lampard.
Please? Not every week, Mount. Please.
One more thing about the whole Lampard thing. Yeah. One more thing about the whole Lampard thing. Look at the weekend. Tuchel taking that Hudson-Odoi. He comes out and clearly tells us, "I need my players to counter press.
Very clear.
I need Hudson-Odoi to do this." If that was Lampard, it was. He probably wasn't doing the basics in the game. I need my players to run harder. He wasn't running hard enough. And he needs to improve. Massive difference, man.
Okay, but let me ask this then. That win, do you give that win to Tuchel or Giroud? Is it moments of brilliance from Giroud?
Is Giroud's win?
Tactical?
Let me go first, Let me go
first.
Wait, and then I'll get to it.
Okay, now you go, Daniel.
No, okay, I was gonna say is Giroud's win, because I think Tuchel did enough to nullify Atletico Madrid, but I don't like. Did Mendy have to make a save?
Atletico,
no, not really.
I don't think he did. So
they were not attacking. How can you nullify someone that isn't here to score a goal?
They tried at HH, but Chelsea counter-pressed them to death.
They didn't have any real clear-cut chances that I can think
Yeah.
of. So I give Tuchel credit for setting that up. However, in setting that up, I don't see what he did that created Chelsea too many chances. Like, it was going to be a 0-0 game without an individually brilliant moment. And that's why Giroud's in the team, I suppose. Because, as I've always said, if you just look at this guy's his top 10 goals, you didn't see anything else, you'd think this guy was one of the greatest strikers of all time. Especially, and then if they finish it off with the flick he did against Crystal Palace for Arsenal, and you see that, like, is this guy like?
I mean,
Pele
the
or
scorpion
something?
cake. There's the scorpion
Yeah,
cake.
yeah. Imagine that's like his best moment, and then this is like number 2 or something. Like, Giroud's goal catalog is insane. So he's in the. I've always said that the things that he thinks he's not always capable of doing. So you'll see him try like this. Like, why would you even try to chip from here or flip from here? Or like, what is in his head is insane. But when it comes off, it comes off. So this was just one of the times where he saw the ball come up, and it's, if you watch the replay, you can just see in his head, bicycle kick. And then he gets his body in position, and he does the motion, and it goes in. You're beating Oblak as well, which isn't easy. So,
I mean,
yeah, I think Tuchel did enough to nullify Atletico, even if Atletico were in the process of nullifying themselves. And however, I don't know if Tuchel created the offensive platform, given the pieces on the chessboard that were there, to create enough chances to make that nullification of Atletico bear fruit without having someone like Giroud in the team to take a chance. So it's Giroud's win, but Tuchel gets credit as well. You know.
I kind of agree with what Daniel said a little bit. I think I have a rebuttal to this because under Lampard, this same Giroud has been kind of been the one bailing Chelsea out. Because people may come out and say, I don't want to mention that name. I just want to talk. Because people may come out and say, Tammy Abraham has this, Tammy Abraham has that. I keep saying it to people. Giroud is the most underrated football player in world football. Because
what?
yeah, he's the most underrated. Yes,
In
because
the world.
people doesn't rate him, doesn't rate the goals he scored. Because people say
More underrated
it's
than
not good
Robbo.
enough. Yeah. If you look at the goals Giroud score, no, he needs to be appreciated more. He's been underrated. He has been. Because people doesn't rate him that much. The kind of goals he scored, a lot of Arsenal fans call him garbage. French national team also said it.
How much should he be rated? Because let's keep it real. He didn't score any goals at that World Cup. Let's keep it real. Has he ever scored?
But his
30
link
goals in a
up,
season?
is something you can take away. Even Kylian Mbappe himself said it. He is the best target man I have ever played with.
But Abdullah,
Stop, man. He's a striker. Jesus.
thank you. He's a striker. As a striker, your currency is goals. And my thing is, a World Cup, you scored 0 goals. You've never scored 30 plus goals a domestic season. These are the things that put you as top tier as a striker, whether you're a high tier goal scorer in a major tournament or you're scoring 30 plus goals in domestic season or 26, 27.
I think it did that in Montpellier in France. I think it did that. I think it's got 20 something goals in Montpellier.
I don't know if he scored 30, but you can bring up Montpellier as this guy won a league for
Bro,
Montpellier.
when last did this guy even play Montpellier, bro?
It's a long
2012?
Long.
time ago.
2012?
2011 maybe.
It's been long though.
2011 I think. Because 2012 would have been the Lille year with Hazard, right?
Yeah, I think for me, people doesn't rate Giroud more the way they rate Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Aguero, and this kind of caliber of striker. And I can understand that, but I think it needs to be more appreciated. It may be slow, but it's like you always put your word. It's a useful break. Like you always said, it's a useful break.
I don't think he's a brick anymore. If we're honest.
I mean,
that is what Eche said.
No.
I know.
I said that before the game. After you score an overhead kick against All Black, I've got to rephrase that. I've got to rephrase. I can't put him in the same category as Alonso. I can't do that. So
Okay,
because I think
who would you rather have like in their prime though? Would you rather have like a Giroud or like a Dzeko?
in their prime.
Yeah.
Giroud.
That's a difficult. Because for me, I think Dzeko is a more reliable goal scorer, but Giroud is more clutch.
Interesting.
I would probably, and I can surround him by whatever players I want in the team.
See, I would lean Dzeko, just because I feel like you get the link-up play, but you also get somebody who I know in his prime, he can get you 20 goals a season, depending on the league.
It's interesting. If you're saying that I can surround him by whatever players I want around him, I'm going to go for Giroud. Because for me, my 30 goals will come from my amazing inside forward or the inside forwards, and maybe I can get like 10 for my goal scoring number 10. But Giroud, he's going to come clutch.
You see, because like
He's going to come with that key goal more so than Dzeko would.
When Abdullahi said the most underrated, that's where my mind went to Dzeko, because I've felt that for a long time. So anyway.
And I think.
So just round up.
Let me round up with Giroud's. I think I'm not sure if
the comments love Dzeko. Shit.
Yes, I think if it is true, I think he is the second most top scorer after Didier Drogba in 2012 in Chelsea history to score 5+ goals in UEFA Champions League. So it shows, yes, I think it shows how underrated he has been as a player. He may be slow, but Giroud is.
These goals were against Atletico, bro. We're against Sevilla.
Yeah, I know. I'm just bringing out and saying, like, the kind of way people kind of say about Giroud, it's not being rated that much as a prolific number 9. It's just been like,
but
it's a decent player.
goals against Sevilla B. How are you supposed to be rated, bro?
Eddie, yeah, he scored against Sevilla. At least he scored that goal. Some strikers will not score those goals. I'm being serious now.
Hold on. This guy has 6 goals in 6 games. Yeah, well, 5 goals in 6 games. 4 of those goals were in one game against a Sevilla B. Give him the goal against something. It's 3 or 4 games.
At least he scored a goal.
I say the same stuff about Haaland, Eddie, but people don't listen. So
Eddie, people come at me when I said I don't, me as a person, I don't believe Tammy Abraham is the number 9 in Chelsea Football Club. It should not be even a starter. It should have been a championship or a mid-level team for me. But people come at me and say, what has he been done? I say, okay, do you want to compare Olivier Giroud's career as a player to Tammy Abraham? There's a level to that. If you want to compare, there's a massive level to that. But people may come and, Tammy Abraham has space, he has this. But I keep telling them, the intelligence of Olivier Giroud is kind of different than Tammy Abraham. So we need to understand that.
10 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yes, we've got about 50 minutes because I need to do something. So, very quick before we end this, before we go to the next thing. Thanks for the dub, Natsa. HH, did you forget?
What currency is that?
Essig. Oh, he's Swedish.
Krona?
Sweden.
Yeah.
Krona.
Oh, they use Krona in Sweden. Oh, okay. Did you forget Dzeko's header before Aguero's QPR winner? He's damn clutch. And Dzeko scores so much more and technically is better. Dzeko for me is the better player. No, Dzeko is the better striker, 100%. Giroud is more clutch. And I think that there is, yes. Giroud for me, if you look at both of their careers.
What are his clutch goals?
Without Giroud, Chelsea probably don't win that Europa, based on what he did throughout that Europa League. Without Giroud, after the restart, Chelsea probably don't make top 4. Pulisic may have looked the best. Most of those key goals that were scored after the restart came from Giroud.
What are Giroud's clutch moments though? Like the moment. So he has one, obviously the Atletico one, but again, this is halftime. So if Atletico go on to win the tie in a couple weeks' time, it's a cool thing that he did, but it doesn't mean anything. Kind of like the Messi free kick against Liverpool. Amazing free kick, but nobody gives a shit because they ended up fucking it up.
So what are Dzeko's clutch moments then?
The header for Aguero QPR. There was a goal. I think
Aguero is clutch. Aguero, that's clutch.
What do you mean? He scored a header in extra time.
And it's clutch, bro. Hey, you need to suck yourself, bro. I scored a tapping and I'm clutch.
Okay, look. So actually, no. Just very briefly here. I want just your quick thoughts on this. It's just something that's Abdullahi shared. Haaland, thoughts? If Chelsea go in for Haaland, do you think that's the right move for Chelsea, or do you think Daniel's Bundesliga tax will expose Haaland for the fraud that he is when it comes to the Premier
I
League.
didn't call him a fraud.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
No,
did.
I
So
didn't.
let me just say right now, for me, Haaland, I'm going to say
Trying to
this
get
right
my
now.
mention, man. They're gonna racially abuse me if you keep
Chelsea,
this up, man.
I would say that's great move. If you can get Haaland and Sancho, that would be amazing. I don't think it's going to happen, but if they can get that, that would be crazy. Briefly, Daniel, Haaland, Sancho.
He's the best available option if he's available. So I don't think anybody would fault Chelsea if they could pull that one off. So, and as for Sancho, I don't know if he's necessarily necessary. Considering, I mean, Havertz can't even get in the team right now, and but yeah, I don't know if Sancho's necessary, but if that's stopping him from going to one of your rival clubs, maybe it's worth the 100 million or so. I don't know.
I think it's down to
briefly,
78 now for Sancho. Look, again, I like Sancho better than Haaland. I don't like the Haaland thing. Look, but people need to be people need to stop being so reactionary, man. Look, I've watched Haaland play, man, and Chelsea don't. Again, he plays one in the Bundesliga, and Chelsea don't counter at the moment like Dortmund do. You watch Haaland and man's, outrunning defenders and running into space. This guy has not been placed under the kind of pressure that you get placed on the Premier League. He hasn't faced the type of defenders that you face in the Premier League. If he comes here, they are gonna beat this guy down, bro. So,
okay, sorry.
If he comes, I'm not saying he'll be bad, but you need, what Chelsea fans need to understand is it's gonna take him 2 or 3 years to, one, get his body ready for this league and be ready to be a top goal scorer in this league. If you're ready to wait that long, fine. But if you're like HH that wants to win Champions League next season, I don't like the
Champions League every year.
So if our goal is Champions League next season, then obviously I'm not doing that. But if we're building a team that's gonna dominate football, say in 5, 6, 7 years, and these guys don't leave to Real Madrid or something, then you might as well go for it. That's
okay, Eddie. Who's your fix right now?
I don't. There's not many good strikers around, is there? That's the problem.
But now, if Haaland's costing somewhere around 70, 80 million euros, or maybe even more than that, I think he has a release clause. I know Abdullahi's shaking his head, but I think Haaland has a €75 million release
2022,
clause.
75 million,
75 in 2022.
25, 2022.
You would assume they won 100 mil around there.
120.
So if it's 120 around there, that could get a lot of people who don't seem like they're available. Like, I think you could probably go to Inter, give 120 for Lukaku, and they'd do it, even though in your mind he wouldn't seem available. So who would be your fix for right now? Calvert-Lewin, stop it. Who is your fix for right now? If it's not Haaland, then who? Or do you just stick with Giroud?
So is this striker? You're saying?
Yeah. Like, who's the right now fix if it's not Haaland?
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane's not going from Spurs to Chelsea. That's not happening.
It's not happening, my friend.
Politics.
Politics, man.
People say Lukaku. I don't think Lukaku's coming back.
No, he's not. Okay, so I'd like to briefly talk about this, please. Briefly. Don't spend 200 years, please.
I think you're missing something in the stuff. Chelsea are going for Haaland, and Tammy Abraham himself is rejecting signing a new contract, because if Chelsea goes for Haaland, I'm not gonna sign the deal. And I'm laughing because people compare him to Drogba, especially you. You compare him to Drogba, and I keep telling people,
I never said that.
There's no. There's a level to that. Didier Drogba has Shevchenko, Nicolas Anelka. So he has so many players behind him, and he has outshined those players. If Abraham doesn't have that mentality, get out of Chelsea Football Club. That's a fact.
I said brief, but carry on.
That's fact. If he doesn't have that mentality, because people are saying he's compared to Didier Drogba. Drogba has that mentality of playing with so many strikers behind him, and he outshined them. He did. Now, because Chelsea are bringing Haaland now, he doesn't want to renew his contract. If he doesn't want to renew his contract, the door is always open. Go. Chelsea Football Club is not a youth team. This club is a winning team. Roman is a winner, so he wants to bring in a winner to the club. So if you know you don't want to stay, the door is always open. Just go. You and your family and your friend, get out of Chelsea. It's simple.
Your family.
It's simple. Very simple. Because I don't understand this logic of because Haaland is coming, Abraham doesn't want to sign a new contract. I keep looking at how good is even Abraham himself? How good is he? Because I don't want to
Look, my friend,
talk too much about him.
if Haaland comes, that's the question I asked. If Haaland comes, do you give it the green light? Will he do well? Yes or no?
This is the problem. Daniel talked about Bundesliga tax. I am worried as a fans because buying him for 120 million, hey, is a big problem because
That's a lot
what
of money,
if he
man.
flop? Alvaro Morata flop. Fernando Torres also flop. So that is where my problem is. Record signing in Chelsea has always been flop.
Was that real cash?
That money is giving me an issue. That is the problem. It's giving me a big issue. Buying for that kind of amount of money. And he's young. He's young. Get it? He's 20 years of age. He's young.
My question is this: yes or no? Would you take him?
I'm 60-40 at the moment.
60-40 no or 60-40 yes?
60-40 in between because 60 be like I will need him to improve in Bundesliga. Yes. The reason I said 60-40 is because 60 means improve in Bundesliga, 40 means yes, come. But the problem is it the right case at the moment? I don't think so because we need to improve more on the defense and the midfield first before even going for a striker.
Okay.
You know who I'll get next season. To be honest, if you can get him for a season or two, I'll go get Jamie Vardy.
Jamie Vardy's not coming to Chelsea, man.
I don't care. I'll make it happen. I'll go get Jamie Vardy.
I think you would have to pay Leicester.
I'll even offer Abraham in the deal if he wants. Yeah, Jamie Vardy would be my pick for a quick fix while we sort out the defense midfield.
If Jamie Vardy is the solution, then you might as well just keep Giroud.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping Giroud next season. Don't get that mistaken. He's getting a 1-year contract, but we need options there anyway. So Jamie Vardy is another. I'm trying to go with a short-term option while we wait for all these young strikers. I think there's Musiala coming up. There's Xerxes as well in Bayern.
Wasn't he a Chelsea player?
He was a Chelsea product apparently. Yeah. And there's Haaland and all these young players coming up. Give them 2-3 years. In the meantime, sort out the defense and midfield while you go with the old guys up front. Maybe Danny Ings, but nah, not really. No, nothing.
But Eddie, the funny part, I kind of get what Danny is saying. I would have loved to go with Harry Kane, but the problem is politics. Harry Kane. That is where my issue because I believe Harry Kane is more proven as a player than getting a record signing for Haaland. If Haaland flop in Chelsea Football Club and the fans are in big mess, big trouble. Even Roman himself is in big trouble because people the question will be, is being brought into Chelsea Football Club as a record signing? Other than something blah blah million. So that's where the problem is. And getting Harry Kane, I'll be like, if Harry Kane I'll be like, it's an English captain, it's understood he has this. That's an English agenda in which I don't want to go to.
So let's just do so Man United this Sunday. Man United this Sunday. So quick thoughts. For me,
home or away? Stamford Bridge or Old Trafford?
That's a good point. Wait.
It's at the bridge. Right. At the bridge.
Yeah, Stamford Bridge. This is
I think I'm gonna give Chelsea a 2-1 win. I don't know why I feel like they're gonna win a game, but it would be very Chelsea to like drop points against Southampton and then show up against United. So
I think I'm gonna faithfully say 1-1.
I can see that.
So I'm saying 1-1.
Faithfully.
Faithfully 1-1.
2-1 Chelsea. And I don't often predict Chelsea wins, but I'm feeling it. So there you go.
Eddie?
2-0 Chelsea.
2-0.
Ooh. Okay.
So no United penalty.
All right. They're not even gonna sniff the box. They're trying to counterattack, so we're counter.
Wait a minute, Eddie. Who's in your head right now? Like which friend in your phone is the United fan that you want to rub it in their face?
I shall not mention right now, but I got a few in mind. I had it ready for the Arsenal fans this morning. I woke up and I saw the score. And I was there celebrating, watching the game.
Aubameyang
that close. That close.
Saka. Yeah, but
Oh, okay, I think so. So score.
I'm thinking
Busted.
because
And he getting
it
stitched
is
up.
because it's tough because I know in my mind I already know it's Chelsea already 1-0 down. I know. I know. In my head, I know we're 1-0 down
Oh
We're
yeah.
because
gonna
of
get Eddie
one.
fired and shit.
No. They could. I think they could hear me. So I say.
Okay.
But freaking, I had it ready for them this morning. But freaking Saka, man.
Zach Close.
Oh, like, give me a score. Give me a score, Pilahi.
We gotta be quiet.
Nah, I'm good. I've got the
Stop.
headphones on.
Eddie gonna get sacked. I'm playing.
It's tough. I think I'm gonna go with 2-1 Chelsea.
So I'm the only guy that hasn't predicted a win here. Wow, interesting, man. So guys, I don't. This shouldn't be weekly, but because of this dude, it sort of tends to be. So, because you guys have asked for it, here we go. So you see now, last week on Callum.Keith. So I don't know where we left off last week.
Nope, keep going. Keep going up. Oh,
Here,
maybe keep going down.
I saw we already said this reference.
Yeah. We're already done.
Yeah, we saw this part.
So here,
Oh my God, Rosario.
Active now.
No, I think we've seen this. We've seen this. It's about up to the
Coman's
Yep.
again.
What would 2 weeks ago be?
2 weeks ago be about
So around the
full,
11th. So like the 10th.
Yeah.
So the 10th is it?
Aha, so this is it here.
Yeah.
So I think this was a video where John Terry, captain, leader, legend, racist, and adulterer, said he sees Mount as the next captain.
Yeah.
So my dear friend
of Chelsea and England, I think.
of Chelsea and England. So he obviously shared the video and
Who
said
better to know?
thoughts. Well, I didn't really say anything. So he then one of my videos where I say I dare Neymar to miss this Barcelona game through injury. Shut up, you muppet, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Shut up, you mom.
laughing emojis. I did not respond.
Evening, fella.
Evening, fella. Thoughts on Mr. Mount continuing to be our best player despite the change of manager. I did not respond. Expecting a written apology to Sir Mace for you accusing him as the reason for our downfall by the morning. Bloke's our best player after Thiago Silva. I did not respond.
Bloke.
I didn't click that Twitter link because
It's gonna be a Mount comp, no doubt.
yeah, probably. This is me talking about Olivier Giroud stand up when Giroud scored the amazing goal. Blaming Mount, one of our best players again. Shut the F up, you'll never get it. Get what, Callum? Just admit you got it wrong on Mount and the bloke's class. It will save you from looking even more brain dead in the future. Mount's final ball is very dodgy. A, because Kova and Jorginho both have fantastic final balls, don't they? Get to F you prick. I don't understand what that means. Get to F you prick. I don't understand. That's
Maybe he just meant fuck you, and then he got caught.
yeah. Like he just got a bit excited, man. All right, guys. So as we do, we throwback pick, man.
Gotta have a good one this time, man.
No. This is no. I think this should be good. This should be good.
Belarus.
What?
Best English left back ever? Easy.
English. Are we limiting it to England?
Bro,
There's an
He
argument
might
that he's the
be-
GOAT. Like,
there is an
Probably
argument.
him. Yeah, there is though.
There is an argument, bro.
There is still.
Because can we be real? If Roberto Carlos didn't score that free kick in Le Tournoi, because we need to have an honest conversation about Roberto Carlos, because he literally lives off that free kick against Italy in Le Tournoi, and the goal he scored from the byline.
it was against
For Real
France, though,
Madrid.
wasn't it? The free kick where he hit with the outside of the boot, and that was against France.
France. It was France. Sorry, it was France. It was France. Yeah.
But yeah, Cole's he might be the GOAT, man. Like, obviously I'm slightly biased, but I don't even think people who are Chelsea fans or Arsenal fans or England fans, I think, like, you pocket Cristiano on a consistent basis.
Consistently. And do you know that the funny thing is, like, the only compilation, it just shows you how hard it is for a defender. The only compilation they show of Ashley Cole and Cristiano is when Cristiano, like, sat him down.
It's like once.
Every single one they had, whether it was England, Portugal, or Arsenal against United, or Chelsea against United, Ashley Cole always had. There was one thing where he so got Cristiano, he actually did the motion of, I've got him in my pocket. He always had Cristiano in his pocket, always. The guy completely ate him up.
Messi too. Yeah, I think. Okay, what do I think about Ashley Cole when I think about Ashley Cole? Number one, greatest birthday present I've maybe ever had from football. August 31st, I think 2005 or 2006. No, 2007.
Yeah, boys. Oh, sorry, Daniel. I just got to run real quick. I'll catch you guys next week.
All right,
Peace,
okay.
people.
Peace.
Gotta do some real work, man.
yeah, right. Peace out.
Yeah, he was bought deadline day on my birthday. I think 2007, but don't quote me. Yeah, and I remember that, like, Ashley Cole for $5 million and William Gallas, who was threatening to score own goals. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Do you remember what William Gallas was like?
Yeah.
Look, if you do not sell me, there's a chance that I just might score an own goal if you let me in the game. So they're like, all right, we'll let you go to Arsenal plus $5 million, and Chelsea will get Ashley Cole because Arsenal didn't feel like paying him the money he was worth. So that's why Cashley Cole and all of those things happened. And then obviously, like, didn't he, like, was it Cheryl Cole, who was like England's sweetheart or something like that everybody loves and, broke her heart. So obviously he's the bad guy. Then the John Terry thing happened. That kind of did change my opinion of him a little bit, but you kind of
Chalk ice.
You kind of always suspected that, didn't you? So, man said Eddie got caught. He's going to jail. You're going to jail now. Well, yeah. I just have good memories of Ashley Cole, man. I thought he was done dirty by Mourinho, the way it ended, where he put Azpilicueta.
Lam is a right back, guys. Lam is a right back.
Lam is a right back. I don't know why people are saying that in the comments.
Yeah.
There was a reason why him and Alaba were playing at the same time. You'd think. So yeah, I would call him. I think.
No. For me, he is. I think when you take everything into account, he is probably the greatest left back of all time.
It's like he had the physical attributes of, like, pace and strength and all that kind of stuff, but his mind was exceptionally on a great footballing level. Like, the amount of goal line clearances and last ditch tackles and
also
diving and
1v1 as well. Like, rarely did I see this guy get beat.
Because he knew what you were going to do before you did it.
Yeah.
Then we can start talking about, penalties that he took and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, just a complete all-round left back. And Chelsea haven't had one since. Maybe that the closest thing they've had was Felipe Luis, but then they let him go because Mourinho didn't play him. So there's been issues at left back since 2012 because that guy was so good. So
Abdullah, talk to us.
I think it should be one of the good because all-round player for me is a better attacking and in terms of defending also. I think this is what the team is lacking at the moment. There's no kind of left back outside there that can do what Ashley Cole has been doing for many, many years. This is where the problem is. People may say Ben Chilwell is this. Ben Chilwell is not up to the level of Ashley Cole. He's not up to the level because Ashley Cole can defend. He can also attack. 1v1 is a damn good defender. Very good defender. So there's a difference in that. That's where the issue has been because we convert right back into left back. Every manager does this. Azpilicueta to left back. We always a right back, but we'll put him as a left back. So there's not been a proper left back in Chelsea for many years. So this is where that has been. But I think for me, it's a very good overall all-round defender for me in terms of left back and kind of defending 1v1. Very good also too. And it's very tough to beat as a defender. Very tough to beat for me. And that's what we've been missing in this caliber of player we are in this era we are at the moment. We're missing a proper left back that like can go forward, that can come back and also defend very well. We've been missing that kind of attribute a lot. It's been missing. I think it's 12. Yeah, we're missing that.
All right, guys.
Have hope. What do you think about Ashley Cole?
Oh no, I don't. What didn't I already say? Sorry. Put personality aside, who he is aside, all the things aside. He might be the best left back of all time, because in terms of defending, 1v1, positioning, IQ, balance on the ball, crossing, bring the ball forward, good offensively, good defensively, consistency throughout 90 minutes in a game. I can't think of any other left back that was of his skill level, And I just think that maybe it's because of his personality or so forth. People don't really give him the whole thing because Roberto Carlos is the sexy answer, but the real answer is Ashley Cole. Do
you know what it is? Like, I think in order to be that good, you have to have his personality, especially playing that position. I think you do have to be kind of cocky, and nobody can beat me. You can't touch me, and that kind of perception, I think, can maybe go to your head in some ways. So, I never really had an issue with him until he decided I'll be John Terry's +1 at the racism thing.
What was the question? See, Maldini
more center back though. Like,
I don't care whether he played left. I've always viewed Maldini as a central defender. So, and also, even if you want to put him on left back, Maldini isn't as good going forward as Ashley Cole is.
Lizarazu?
No. Vicente Lizarazu, no.
Good.
Sorry, no.
Good, but chill.
Maldini I see more as a centre back. Lizarazu is not even in the conversation.
This is the only thing that lets him and anyone who was in that England generation down, whether it's Giroud, Cole, Terry, Rio, Steven Gerrard, just the international resume should have been far better than what they accomplished. So if he got to World Cup final, won a World Cup, won a Euro, then I think they'd be clear. But because they don't have those international things or trophies, medals, maybe you could look at a Roberto Carlos and think, 2002 Copa Americas, etc., etc. So
what does that mean? It's what we are comparing player to player here. It's not his fault that he had a bunch of flops in his team like Lampard, Gerrard, Beckham, all those dudes. So, guys,
it was never his fault. Put it that way.
Every single time England went us, they went us on penalties. What does that tell you? The defense were doing our job. We're holding.
And
now
Cole
you
was
go
making
freaking
his
score.
Cole made his damn penalties, guys.
Yeah.
So, put it that way.
My thing is, I know Nata, I wouldn't want to see Ashley Cole talk about BLM at any point. So no, please, no thanks.
Do you know they have Micah Richards out here just trying to speak for black people now? I'm like,
bro, it's
mute your mic.
Basically, it's like pick a black, any black. So guys, thank you very much for joining us here, guys. Remember, please, if you want to support us, support the Complicated Show Boys, click
the description,
the link
guys.
below, become a Patreon and gain access to some of our exclusive content for you guys. It will mean a lot to us if you can join us, become a Patreon, so we can interact with you there and put up some nice, good, exclusive goodies on that Patreon. Any final words, guys, before we...
No, I'm good. Just shout out that
HH.
Shout out to HH, man. Big up people in the comments.
I said, all right, final words, not final.
I wanted to say something. I think I wanted to say something. I just forgot now.
Go ahead, man.
He forgot.
Oh shit! I thought he forgot, but now he's remembered. But he wants to say something.
I wanted to say something when you were talking, but I forgot.
Was it about Ashley Cole? Was it about
Ashley Cole? About Chelsea?
Yeah, Ashley Cole. I've forgotten something. I think I remember now. So you were talking about Marvin Lampard and Gerrard as a forward, but I think the problem with this English team is not even about it. It's about the generation of players they have there, because people were hyping those kind of players a lot. So many of them: Gerrard, Lampard, Joko, David Beckham and everybody. They were hyping them way too much. As if like when you look at the France national team and you look at other kind of team, you can see some players they were kind of have the mentality of like we can go forward in this play. England have that generational player like those players. But I think that problem is because the English league is being talked about as the best league in the world. So those players fall into that trap and became very, very bad in the international level. That was where the problem is. It's not about the caliber of player they are, but I think it's been way too many talks about it, very, very too hyped about it. So people don't kind of give in so many categorization and the way they put it.
Basically, the cards that they weren't as good as the media and newspapers thought they were. So, guys, we are busting out of here, guys. We will see you, hopefully, guys, next Thursday. But remember, man, click the link below in the description box to become a patron and support your boys. You can follow us on Twitter, check out the Manscaped link, check out the Patreon link, and join us on Patreon to support our lovely work. Peace out. Stay true, stay real. One love.